it wasn't no women. It was just barbarianism. So, that saying was very true back then. The strong prey on the weak. So, if you was a weak dude back then, because they was trying you, it was barbarianism. Guys was actually coming, say, man, get a knife, man, I want you.
Prison Stories 101. We actually have him back in the building. T. Win, how's it going?
Oh, man, it's going great. Thank you for having me.
Man, I appreciate you coming back, man. When I say back in the building, man, when I first started this Prison Stories, your conversation was one of the first ones I had. I was just trying to figure out this channel, see where it goes. And, I would appreciate you for coming in early on. If you don't mind, what I'd like to do is first have you reintroduce yourself and tell them how much time you served.
My name is T. Win, and I served 30 years, 7 months in Angola. I went in at the age of 16. I was tried as an adult, and I did 30 years and 7 months.
Oh, man, when someone says 30 years and 7 months, again, I've had a lot of people on this platform to where, they've done 5, 10, some 10, some 15, some 20. 30 years of your life. As I want to kind of, go back to the beginning, if you don't mind, again, you've already said this before, but I want to kind of reiterate the story of what happened. What age were you when you went in?
I was 16.
16 years old. Where was this charge caught?
It was caught in Shreveport.
Shreveport, Louisiana. As far as being 16 years old, what year was it as far as your incarceration?
I went in, the charge happened on Christmas night, and I was arrested a few days later. So this was 1989. So I went in 1989, Christmas night. Well, the charge happened Christmas night, but I was like I said, caught. I was captured like 3 days later.
All right, if you don't mind, just kind of catching up to speed, what was the reason what was the crime?
The crime was a murder and attempted murder. Being a kid, not being able to stop myself from committing a crime against a brother named Jeffrey Owens. I have to give reference to Jeffrey because had that night never happened, I wouldn't be sitting here and I wouldn't be on a positive path that I'm on because it took something so detrimental for me to change my life around.
Yeah. As far as the situation with Jeffrey, can you or do you mind speaking on what that situation was, what happened? Mind you, you're 16 years old, so I'm assuming, is he a young man as well, or?
Yes, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff was also young. I think Jeff was we was the same age, or he was a year older than me. I think Jeff was like a year or two older than me, but he was a young man. And but Jeffrey had nothing to do with it. Jeffrey was the innocent bystander to the situation. It was a situation between me and another guy, and he survived, and so it was a situation where me and the other guy got into it, and it led to me trying to shoot him and accidentally killing Jeffrey.
Let me ask you, at that age, 16, would you call yourself or label yourself a killer? Did you have that mentality, or was it more so it'll be them before me? Or were you walking around being an aggressor?
I think I was walking around being a product of my environment. So I think all the things that you just described, I think that I carried all of that, because the streets make you think at that young age, it makes you think that you're invincible. It makes you think that better him than me. Yeah. And if I do it and get caught, I'm coming right back out because I'm a kid. but the system had other designs, and God had other designs for me. Instead of going and coming back, I was tried as an adult, and I was sent to the bloodiest penitentiary in America, Angola.
Angola.
Yes.
30 years Angola.
30 years.
We're going to speak about that, but as far as just them trying you as an adult, is that Louisiana state law for them to do that, or what was the circumstance for them to push you up to that? Did they hold you long enough?
No, it was Louisiana law, but it didn't apply to everybody. So it was like my situation became kind of, political, because like months before my situation, after we just coming off the heels of the Cedar Grove riots, where a white woman killed the black guy in Cedar Grove, and Cedar Grove erupted. But her killing was on the heels of a white guy killing a black guy at the Hot Biscuit. So a month later, she do what she did, and the city erupted. Where the spot that it happened at, it was it was violence going on. So it became political. So me being the next kid that took someone's life, I was tried as an adult. And Tammy, that's the woman that killed the guy. We had the same judge. Tammy got 12. I think the white guy name was Jason. I can't remember exactly. I forgot his name. But he got 10, and I got life.
Life?
Yes. I think he was 19. She was like 18 or something, 17 or 18 when she did it.
Yeah.
And I was 16, and I'm the only one who came out with life.
Do you feel they were trying to make an example of you?
Yeah, they definitely did.
What part of Shreveport did you grow up in? What neighborhood, if you don't mind me asking?
The Cooper Road.
Cooper Road. So for those that don't know, the Cooper Road, of course, a historic neighborhood. Probably, I'm assuming in the circumference, probably the most black families live in that area as of right now, in regards. So understanding being a product of your environment. Yeah. As a 16-year-old child, who was in your corner, help, as you were fighting this case? Was your mom, your dad, brothers, sisters, uncles, grandmama?
Yes, my mom. My mom's side of the family was there. So I had really, really good support from my mom's side of the family. Plus I had lawyer homeboys, that wrote it out with me. Some throughout the 30 years and 7 months, some died, some went to prison. But, for the most part, I had a really, really great support team from friends, something that's rare, something that you don't really see, especially with me being 16 and these guys steady living their lives, steady going on, but they never forgot about me.
Man. That's real. And as you said, you were 16. You were expecting to probably do some jail time, some boy home time, but they sent you up or down the road to Angola. Have you heard of Angola prior and knew what Angola was prior to getting there?
Yeah, I heard of it. I knew what it was because, I'm from the Cooper Road, like you said, it's historic. The Cooper Road is the second largest black community in America. So, we've had like Alvin Moore Jr. He died in the electric chair innocently. So our neighborhood carried that. We had Ernest Knighton. He died in the electric chair. These guys died in the electric chair a year apart. But both of them was from our neighborhood. But Alvin was innocent. So, our neighborhood always talked about Alvin. And we had Irvin Wynn, which was my cousin. He had went to Angola. He wasn't talked about as much as Alvin because Alvin, again, was an innocent man that died in the electric chair. Yeah. And it was due to racism. And Ernest died in the electric chair. Ernest died horribly because they had to hit the plug on him more than one time. So they burnt him up. So, these stories circulated within our community coming up. And so we knew what Angola was.
For you, going in at 16, do you remember how that first week went for you? Just what your experience was. What did you expect, and how did it actually go?
I think going in, I expected the guy to come throw me a knife and tell me, let's go at it. So my first weekend inside the prison, I didn't sleep good. I was like, I wake up and watch around, be looking around because, you done heard so many stories. And I'm the youngest dude in the whole prison. At the time, Angola had like 5,000 prisoners, and I was the youngest out of everybody.
You was the youngest one
I was the youngest one in the whole prison, and I looked like a kid. And I had long hair at this time, and so it was a little paranoia.
Yeah. Now, mind you, we're in 2026 now, where technology is rampant. People probably don't know life before social media, let alone computers and stuff. You went in 1989. How was it just with whether phones, how was even technology in the prison? Did it even exist really? Or is everything old?
No. Phones didn't come into Angola illegally until 2009, the year my mom passed. So, we was, even now, if, it's a lot of young guys, so Angola kind of turning the table. So it's a lot of young guys that's coming from society, so they know about technology. But you got guys like Prentice Robinson, Solomon Bird's son, and I'm name dropping because these guys both come from Shreveport. Prentice done did 54 years or 50 years. Solomon done did over 40 years. And these are guys that don't mess with cell phones. So they extremely behind. So when they come out, if they don't just watch TV a lot, it's gonna be a different world to them because they don't really know nothing about this. They don't know about their car telling you, turn right. No, they left. We still had maps. Now they don't know about Google Maps.
You had to pull out the atlas.
You had to pull out the compass.
Yeah, you know which way you're going.
Yeah, and put the compass on this spot. Oh, this is where we're coming from. And people don't know. Young people don't know about those days.
Did they have television in Angola back then? I'm sure they did. But
yeah.
This is back when they only had a couple channels. 3, 4, 5, 8, 11. I mean,
think about it. 50 years. 50 years is saying, I'm 52. So 50 years ago would be 1976.
Yeah. Come on.
That's 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And so they've been down that long, and Solomon been down. Solomon got 40 some years in.
Yeah.
So these guys don't, they really behind.
So I'm curious for you yourself. I'm gonna get a little invasive, but as you went in when you were 16, were you a virgin when you went in?
No, I got 2 kids.
Before you went in?
Yeah, I would have had 5 kids.
Yeah, man. Cooper Rowe. I hear there's nothing to do but procreate.
No, at that time it was a lot to do. See, people looking at Cooper Rowe now.
Yeah,
and you can attribute that to bad leadership because when I left Cooper Rowe, Shreveport as a whole, it was a very fast forward and a progressive city.
Yeah.
Now it went backwards. So now you could say that, but back then I just was advanced.
Yeah,
because I was just a name. I wasn't. I was a smart student, but I was in the streets, and I had a name in both. So I had a name in the school because I was smart, and I had a name in the streets. Plus, I ain't a bad looking brother, So a lot of women, a lot of girls like me. So I got 2 daughters, 2 beautiful daughters. I got 3 grandkids.
It's interesting. They say the first thing that a young man thinks about when he's incarcerated, especially for them to give you life, meaning, let me ask you, when they gave you life, were you expecting to ever come home? Were you expecting like, this isn't the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Okay. So you never settled that I will be in here for life.
No, because, I come from a good family. I come from a family that has something. And I knew that they was going to throw it all behind me when need be. So I went in thinking I'd do 7 years. I was naive. And those 7 years turned into 30. And I never thought that I wouldn't come home to my mom. I wouldn't come home to my dad, my grandmoms on both sides. But, I lost all that.
But as you were in there, each year you felt like, I'm going to probably do this 7 and it's going to work itself out for me to come home.
No, that 7 changed. And I just always felt afterwards that I'm not going to die here.
Okay.
This won't be my last stop.
Not in this place.
Yeah, I won't die in this place.
So what I was about to say was, the first thing that goes in a young boy's mind is that I won't be able to have sex no more. I won't be able to do anything like that anymore. Did that come across your mind, and did you worry about that immediately?
No, it didn't come across my mind because I had girls coming to see me.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, so and they was making moves.
Yeah, can you? Was there ways to make it happen?
Yeah, dudes was making it happen. So you follow suit.
How? This is back then. How was it more easily back then? Like, did it start getting harder?
More easy.
Yeah, but I assume it got harder after a while.
It's harder because you got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you got dudes that's gonna go tell it because they ain't getting nothing, and you getting something.
Back then, how easy was it? Was it more so just like, hey, let's just find this little quick corner. I gotta go to the bathroom. Bathroom break, boss.
No, you in the business shed. So they had a corner. Everybody knew. Don't go back there, man. Don't bring your mom back there. Don't bring your kids back there. Stay from back there. That's the spot. So you're gonna have people back there waiting, and they're gonna be watching the bus for you.
Okay.
So
one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. You get the table.
Oh, okay, man. Make life a little easier. In this conversation, again, we're going to move around in regards to just the prison stories we're going to tell. But also, before we get too far into it, I have to get your take on, the young man, Carmelo Anthony, who, of course, is committed crime at 17 and is now looking at 35 years at 19. And his crime was a little trumped up because of the national attention that it got, but a lot of I don't want to say racist connotation went with it, but it did cause a media storm in the city of Collin County, where blacks and whites were outside protesting on both sides. How do you feel his first days, first weeks, first months will be? And mind you, you said you were from the streets. This is Cooper Road. He is really a suburban kid with no credible street background. How would you say would it be for him?
It's gonna be a lot of gloom. It's gonna be and you failed to mention this was an honor roll student.
All A's, yes.
It's gonna be a lot of days that he want to cry. It's going to be a lot of loneliness for him because everything that he know, because he didn't come up in an abnormal situation, and he came up in a situation where life was just promised a good time and a good adventure for him. So now he's waking up to men. Men might be getting into it. Somebody might be getting stabbed. Somebody might be getting killed. Things that he never expected to see. Things that he never expected to be a part of. And he waking up to this and he thinking about, damn, I could have been doing this with my life. Look at what I'm doing. And I could have been here. Look at where I'm going now. Man, I could have been talking to such and such. Man, now I gotta really hold everything in. And now I gotta learn from people that's only teaching me about prison. And I don't want to learn about prison. I don't want to become institutionalized. And so he thinking from the eyes of a 19-year-old dude that had a lot of promise. Now he's just praying that his appeal hurry up and come through. Yeah. He praying that his mom and dad finally get it right and get the right lawyers, because he know now that he had horrible representation.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll hit that law library and see that things didn't go the way it should have went.
Yes.
You mentioned Waking Up to Men, and he just graduated high school. And like you said, now he's waking up to grown men on a daily basis. You also mentioned that, of course, he's waking up to, whether any kind of violence, stabbings, killings, and he might have to become a part of that. Do you feel like just knowing how prison works, that he will be a part of that? Like there's no way to separate yourself from the violence in prison or just stay out of it, that somehow you will be a part of it?
The culture is gonna dictate for him to be a part of it. And the reason is because Black people don't overcome their ignorance when they go to prison. We never get out of hating one another. You go into prison, well, you got the Aryan nation, Aryan Brotherhood, you got the Mexican Mafia, you got all these different things that hate you because of your skin color. And what we do in prison still, we're gonna represent what we represent, and we're gonna still hate each other, knowing that everybody, they together against you. And what we do, we study fragment ourselves to be against one another. So we don't learn how to even much understand that, hey man, we the biggest number in here, so ain't nobody else supposed to run this, and I'm not gonna let Carmelo be prey. He's gonna be a victor here. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna protect him. So in order for him to get a protection in there, he's gonna have to probably join Muslims. He's gonna have to probably join Crips, Bloods, but all that separations. Now, if you just join the Muslims, you don't represent nothing, but you're gonna stay on your deen. You're gonna stay praying, and it'll get you to be more positive, in which people don't understand why a lot of guys go to prison and become Muslims. But it's the discipline and it's the unity, something that we dream about, but we never see. And so that's the sad part of what Carmelo existence is gonna come to being. Us still not understanding that, man, it's still us against us because we make it like that. But you still gotta fight these outside forces. We going through racism now. His charge, in our minds, centered around racism. Yeah. But you finna go in prison, you finna see it up front, close and personal. Because the white dudes in there got them knives and they gonna kill you. And Black people to put hits on you, another Black person, and use the white dude to do it. But that still don't make us come together.
Yeah, you said a Black dude might use the white man to handle some business. Another. And it's interesting because, like you said, you go in there and whether you're Bloods, Crips, whatever it is, these are all factions that we will still go against each other. Is the problem ultimately monetary, finances? Is it because us as a people don't have the financial resources to make our time okay in prison?
It's hard to just lean on it from that stance, because a lot of Black dudes go to prison, they probably was broke, bummy on the streets, but they might go to prison and get a runner, and then they can make it happen. So they hustle. And if you hustling, you're gonna make sure everybody around you eating, because you got to. You can't just be the lone wolf. So I don't think it's just economics. I think it's just this innate hate that we have for one another and we can't outgrow it and we don't overcome it. And that's a real sad state that we get in. Because when you go, that's just here in the state prison. Then you go to the feds, it's the same way. We don't come together like we should. We're gonna separate ourselves between cities, between states at that point, because the South gotta stick with it with the South. DC gonna be what they think, because it's DC, they big, everybody that go to catch a charge in DC be together. New York gonna be with each other. Cali gonna still be separated with Crips and the Bloods. Chicago gonna be still kind of separated with things. But just think about all those different fractions of us. If we was to come together, if you ain't running in the society, you can definitely run it in prison because you got the numbers and then you got the unity. But we just don't unify. We would not unify for no reason. And that's the sad thing. So that's why the Camelos, and so there's everybody that go to the prison, you got to join something. You ain't finna be no lone wolf because everybody is against you.
Thanks.
Don't be with these black dudes here. These black dudes gonna get you. Then if you step outside, these white boys finna get you. Then if you step outside, these Mexicans are gonna get you. So you got to join something. You forced to join something.
That's right. You mentioned early on as far as Carmelo as well, he's going to have some nights where he's going to cry. Just in your experience, is it, or can you cry in public in prison? Can you have an emotional moment amongst others and let tears out? And how is that looked upon?
It's advised not to. But now when you be in the religious moments, people don't look at you, they don't frown upon you with it. But if you're in these macho sects, it's hard for you to cry. So you become a slave to your tears. You gotta suppress how you feel.
Yeah.
Unless you done did so much. And everybody know, hey, ain't nothing weak right there.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about it then. I never understood, when it comes to injuring yourself in prison. We spoke a little bit off camera where you had a situation where you injured yourself. How does it work when you do injure, like whether have a leg injury, back injury, neck injury? Something could happen. How is rehabilitation in prison? Can you go to therapy? Do they give you the opportunity to heal yourself?
But things have got better over the years. So, yes, things have gotten better. It might take you a long time to get there, but you could. Yeah, they would give it to you. Mm. But it's a lot of red tape you're gonna have to go through. Really? You might be hurt. It might take you a year to get there.
So there's no rush.
No. Yeah, you on the back burner. You could need a kidney, and they had a perfect donor for you. You're on the back burner. You'll still be waiting.
Oh man. I saw someone sue the prison system for that exact reason. That they put a situation that escalated. It could have got resolved for $70, and they just let it stagnate until it became an issue. So I totally understand. What are your thoughts on the infirmary though, as far as, if something does happen and they are trying to save your life, do they try, in Angola especially, do they really make an attempt to save your life, or do you feel like they let some people succumb to injuries and things of that nature?
Well, of course they let some people succumb to injury. Same way in society. So as far as that goes, Angola doc, I ain't gonna say that, but they let people succumb to injuries, especially if you're a bad actor.
Oh yeah.
They'll let you go. They'll be like, don't go, leave him alone. They're gonna stop the next person. They can do it because it's easy to cover up. You know, it's easy to cover up. A lot of times it's easy to cover up those malpractices unless it's just so obvious. But, you know, if you just, let's say you had a heart attack and you've been in there fighting them. You've been in there fighting them a long time. You done fought them hard. And you catch a heart attack. You think they're finna save you?
They be like, yeah, right up our alley. Yeah.
Bon voyage. Yeah.
How do they handle the dead? Are they shipped back home? Is there a funeral service?
If your family come get you, you go home. But if no one's, you don't have anybody in society, they're gonna bury you at a place called Point Lookout. Point Lookout, when I first went, they had one. I think they're up to like 3 Point Lookouts now.
Oh,
you know, so there's a lot
bodies
of
there.
yes, and so the guys have a funeral for him. The trustee's gonna come out. Whoever friends with him, they open it up for him to have a ceremony, a nice going home. And some people, families just can't afford it, so they let the prison bury him, and the prison will give him an opportunity to come in and attend the funeral.
Okay, they can't come visit. Like, just I just want to visit the grave, or is the graves even marked?
I think they are marked. I think they are marked.
Okay.
I don't know if the families can come. That's a good. That's a good question. I don't know if they can come, but I think that they open enough to allow them to come. If they families wanted to come, I think that they would.
But you do believe they do keep record of where this body lies. There is some type of marker. So
Yes.
This is this person.
Because prisoners putting them in the ground. So a lot of prisoners be really, really good at marking graves because these are our friends. These are our families that's going into these grounds. These are the only people that we know as our family.
Yeah. You know, there was a movie. I'm sure once you came home, you started being able to watch movies and things of that nature. Again, you've been in there so long. Were you able to watch movies? They'll have movie day.
Oh, yeah, they gonna look at movies.
Okay.
So as the years went on, they added TVs because guys used to get into it. Some guys don't want to look at a movie, they want to look at sports. Some guys don't want to look at no sports, they want to look at movies. Some guys got to look at Young and the Restless. Some guys like, man, F the Young and the Restless. So it was a lot of fights and guys and die for the TVs. So now they got a sports TV and a movie TV.
Okay. When the movie Life came out with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, did y'all get a chance to watch it on the inside?
Oh, yeah.
How, of course, that was an older time, but how close was that to like representing the brotherhood and the camaraderie that comes amongst prisoners that's doing life, like damn near doing life sentences?
And you know, I do a lot of speaking.
Yes.
So when people ask me about what's Angola like, I always send them to that movie. Because that movie, really, without the comedy, that's Angola. Yeah. Without the comedy and without the scrapes.
Okay, yeah.
Everything else, man, that's Angola.
What was it about it that's so close just to,
Everything.
Okay.
Nothing. Everything about that movie.
Even the CEOs and the daughters and the...
Everything. That's Angola.
Oh, man.
Without the comedy. Just keep it serious. And you got your comedic days, but that's Angola. That, man, you can look at that movie and just say, even with the airplane.
Oh yeah.
Because they got a script.
Yeah,
and they got a doctor fly in. He flies his own plane. Then they had prisoners when I first came, used to crop dust.
Yeah.
Do the crop prisoners. Get it, boss. They got that in Angola. Man, that's Angola. Everybody looked at that movie. And I'm not a movie dude, but dudes would be like, man, you gotta look at it. Man, that movie make you cry because you're looking at your reality. Man. It's like, yeah.
How many escape attempts would you say Angola?
It's very few.
Yeah.
And that's the psychology that you know, that's the psychology. You got to understand how when you look at slavery, you be like,
But there's 5,000 of y'all. Why don't y'all just get together and just
even in slavery,
yeah.
you'd be like, it don't be number like one. It wasn't number like one or two people out there keeping them in the field, and it's the same way. You got to understand the psychology behind it. Like, man, 'cause I used to be asking that question in prison, like, man,
Why don't we revolt?
damn.
So what do you think about the psychology is? Because people tell me Angola, it's a city within itself, but there's nowhere to really go. Like,
Yeah, if you ain't really got no outside help, man, Angola from the main street, it's like 26 miles
26 miles to get to the main road.
to the main road.
Dang.
And so you ain't going through number woods. You got houses down the street, but all them
they probably work.
either gonna work for Angola or work with Angola.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, if you ain't got no help, you ain't going nowhere.
26 miles. Yeah. Y'all go run that. See how.
Man, they got ravines that just go straight down.
Oh,
You go up and down. It's woods, and it's around. It's water around them.
yeah.
So it's like,
In the movie Life, there was a situation where I believe it was the warden or maybe just the CO's the daughter had a baby with somebody. Have you ever seen that where
I did a lot.
yeah.
And I just saw.
What happens with that? How does that work when an inmate impregnates maybe somebody worker's kids or just someone that lives on the land, whatever?
It works. They ain't gonna put you in line like that. Like, who this baby for?
Oh, they really gonna go ask? They gonna
No, they ain't gonna do that.
okay.
Somebody gonna tell them, and they're gonna lock you up. And a lot of times they're gonna beat you.
Wow. They gonna make you.
They're gonna. There's a movie called Mississippi Messiah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
All right, it's a slave movie, and so the slave master had been having all these babies come up, and the wife just got tired of seeing it, so she got the strongest black dude, and she brought him into a room, and she said, "Take off your clothes." He said, "No." She said, "Take off your clothes, boy, or I'm gonna say you raped me, so you might as well enjoy yourself." And so he said, "I'm not gonna do it." And then she went to using psychology on him. Your mama was raped by my husband. Your wife was raped by my husband. And then she went to stripping his clothes off, and he tore up. And she had a baby. And the husband was there. So when the baby came out and he saw that it was black, he tore that umbilical cord out of it. And he made her tell who did it. He knocked off, and he went and got him. And he told him, get in that pot. He had a big old pot out there. Man, I watched this movie when I was a baby, and I'll never forget this movie. I ain't never saw it again. And he had the pot. The water was up under that pot. He said, get in. He's like, no. So he said, get in that water, boy. He said, I'm not getting in there. And he went to hitting him with that big old fork that raked the leaves up. And it made him get into the water. He killed him.
Oh, man.
But it's situations like that when you, sometimes, they get to having babies up there at one time. But now it's like, kind of like normal now.
Yeah, this is back in the day. This is, again, we're talking back in the day.
When women first started coming in there.
Oh, I can only imagine. For you yourself, again, we spoke on this last time, but what was either the worst thing or one or two or three of the worst things that you've seen while you was in there, as far as something that stays with you?
I think I saw dudes get killed in there, get stabbed to death.
Do you think it was something, I don't want to say deserve, but something that the person saw coming or blindsided?
I think one of them probably saw it coming. And so, it'd be situations where you say like, man, that shouldn't have happened. And he ain't have to kill him. Like, man, he ain't have to kill him. Like I said, like right before I came home, my cousin got killed.
You see what happened with your cousin?
He was in the cell with my partner, and my partner stomped him to death.
That's what I asked. Did you ever see someone beat to death?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah, I saw dudes got beat to death with locks.
Oh man. Yeah. Lock in the sock, man.
Locks in the sock. So I try not to remember that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But and like I say, a lot of situations they'd be like, dang, he ain't deserve that.
How what is the atmosphere of the prison when there is a life taken? Like, is it more serious afterwards, or is everybody back to regular scheduled programming, playing and joking, or does it kind of sit in the cells for a little while as far as, amongst the atmosphere?
It'd be kind of serious. It'll get, dang, such and such got killed last night. And so you'll be like, but, so you'll get, it'll be somber, but it'll have that seriousness with it. And it'll make you really just, you be watching people. You get, you understand that drugs play a part of it.
Okay.
So you be paranoid of the person that's doing the drugs because they stand up so long and the oxygen ain't going to their brain. Then they be paranoid so that you'll never know who they're gonna attack because they don't telegraph it because of the drugs. So you be like, you don't want to be around them type of people because you don't want to go to sleep, and then dudes jugging you while you sleep, beating you in your head while you sleep.
When it comes to even with the drug situation, what was the most prominent drug you seen being used while you was in there?
The most prominent?
Yeah, the one that was just used the most.
Mojo.
What's it called?
Mojo.
What is that?
That's synthetic marijuana.
Oh yeah, like K2 and things of that nature.
Yeah, what was it like? Made K2 look like nothing.
This goes another level. Mojo.
Yeah.
Okay, this is new to me. When did this come about? Like, what year would you say?
Probably around 2017. It just went to dominate. 2016, 2017.
What was it about this drug that made it? What was what the effect? Was it? I heard some of it because it's synthetic, it's not detectable. Like, what was it about this one? Price or?
It wasn't detectable, and it made the beats actually come out of them. Man, you actually see dudes run their head into that wall. You actually saw dudes jumping off the top bunk, hitting their head in the toilet and dying. Running up the fence. Dudes running out up the wall. You be like, how you ran up that wall?
Wow.
Jumping on top of the building. Dudes just... I remember I came on the yard one time and just dudes on both sides of the fence because I was an outer camp. And so, they got a fence separating you so you don't be together. And you got a line, the fence go down. The fence separate both yards. And so, man, you got dudes on both sides of the fence just holding on to the fence, all throwing up yellow stuff. Just yellow stuff. Then you see a dude jump over the fence. So Mojo did, man. Mojo was a drug that they wouldn't have did back in the days.
Wow, yeah.
Because the dude be wanting you to smoke it back in the days because of the the mentality.
Dang. How scarce or how important was the cigarette sales going on in there as far as having a cigarette or someone who sold cigarettes?
Oh, cigarettes was big after they took cigarettes.
Yeah.
Cigarettes was
Yeah, someone once
a
told me
great
that,
hustle.
yeah, someone told me they made hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million selling, getting those cigarettes off.
Yeah,
Could you
see, in Louisiana, it'd be a little hard. It wouldn't be hard to make it. You could do it. But in Louisiana, the prices are not as high as they are in Texas, because y'all the economy is so much more higher than ours, or in the feds, where you got more dudes that have more money, and their families got more money, and they coming from every different state in America to one penitentiary. But man, cigarettes, how you gonna make that money? Yeah.
Now, of course, we always speak on it. Again, the natural fear of prison, and whenever someone says, "Oh, you're gonna go to prison," I hope there's a man that's in there and who takes your manhood. They always seem to pray like that's where, to the point I even heard a judge say it to an inmate, to a convict, as she was sentencing that person, saying, I hope someone makes you their girlfriend. And I'm like the fact that is kind of jarred into our reality. Is that something that, of course, you was in the 80s. Is that something that was like, yes, your goal is to not become someone's girlfriend while you are in prison?
Back then it was. Now, dudes ain't on that.
Yeah, what was it back then? Was it is it still, again, no cameras or something? What was it back then that made it so?
It wasn't no women. It was just barbarianism. So, that saying was very true back then. The strong prey on the weak. So, if you was a weak dude back then, because they was trying you. It was barbarianism. Guys was actually coming, say, man, get a knife, man, I want you. You'd be like, what? But, it was a mentality.
Yeah. They say there was a situation where now you could tell. Like after a while, the guards you could tell they put they put a system up to where it's, prisons have to protect people now. You can't just get that happen. But you were there before that situation was where, who could you run to? I mean, who, like, just.
You would have to know which guard to run to, because some guards be like, man, I don't want to hear that. Go on back in now.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, man, the guards was just like the prisoners. Then you had dudes praying on dudes, like, especially you going to the cell block, it'd be like, man, keep my cell open to put a fresh fish up in here with me. And the guards would be like, all right, I'm gonna keep it open for you. So on Monday nights, he'll be, I already told you, look, such and such coming in your cell. So they be setting you up.
Yeah, for what purpose? For money? For just entertainment?
Just because they was evil like that. Just evil. It wasn't because of no money. At that point, some of them might charge you, but some of them are just evil guards.
Yeah. Now you said it was a lack of women. No women was there. Was that, like, what do you mean as far as women weren't like no CO workers? So it was all men. At that time.
Yep.
Damn. So to see a woman was only probably maybe visitation if you had somebody come visit you.
Or they got a system called the ARP system. And that's when you write a grievance on security for whatever reason. So they had a woman bring you that, and when you go to the infirmary.
Women nurses.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, to wake up to only men, go to sleep I only have seen men.
So, somebody gonna always try to overpower somebody in those terms when you just put men around men.
Who would you say was the weakest people in there, the weakest links in there? Was it white boys? Was it young kids? What?
It was definitely in Angola. It was white dudes.
Yeah.
It was white dudes, because Angola isn't like Angola isn't like any other prison in America
Yeah, I keep hearing this. Yeah.
because you can go to Angola. It ain't about race. Even though the white dude's gonna stick with the white dudes, but they so few that you don't really, it ain't really like, and you ain't gotta join nothing. You can just go to Angola and just be you. You ain't gotta join nothing in Angola. But the Mexicans starting to come in out. And they stick together.
Ah, yeah.
The white dudes stick together, but
It's not that many of them or something.
yeah. And so it don't really matter. So you would look at them as being the weakest.
Is the weakness solved the moment they walk in, or is it after a while of testing and seeing what they're about, or just kind of just being around them a little while, just knowing like, oh, this man is weak, and he's to be preyed upon.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna see a black dude pray upon them. They just got even Angola like this. They just gonna pray upon a black person.
So the black man does not.
He ain't gonna try to dominate. He ain't gonna try to dominate the white dudes. He gonna let them handle their own business. Because the white dude gonna do this. When you come through the doors of Angola as a fresh fish, and you got your bundle, and your bundle is just all your stuff tied up in a bundle. Soon as the white dude come in, other white dudes gonna see him. And the white dude gonna walk up, say, man, what's your name? I'm such and such. You got your bed number yet? Yeah, let me show it to you, man. You gonna show me, bed, what you need? And the other white dudes gonna start coming over. What you need? And they're gonna make sure you get everything you need. Black dude come in, what's your bed number, man? Back in the days, they'll be like, what's your bed number? And you better not tell them your bed number.
Why?
Because he trying to get you. He ain't trying to help you like the white dudes.
Yeah, so just him asking is him.
He can ask you. Yeah.
Looking for the flaw, looking a way to get you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but now, if a black dude come in, if he ain't from a city that's got some numbers in there, ain't no dude really gonna come up to him and ask him, man, what you need? To try to make sure he's straight. They just wouldn't look at him. Now they ain't gonna say nothing to you. Or now you have to watch, if you're coming from one of the cities, you just have to watch who your enemy is.
Yeah. Now I guarantee when you did 30 years to where some people probably watching this ain't even been alive that long. What would you say for you personally? What were some of the hardest days in there for you? And I know you spoke on your mother. I want to speak on that, but before I get to your mother, what was like just some of the hardest days, whether through famine, not eating, sickness, heat, cold? What do you remember? Like some days where it was just hard for you?
Man, any hot day,
Yeah,
it's like that's one of my traumas I have to go through.
Yeah.
It's like I can't stand the heat now.
Yeah.
Like when I'm asleep, I have to be cold. I have to have an air conditioner on, and I kind of like got to be. I can't wear clothes,
Yeah.
but I got to have it cold,
Yeah.
and so I got to be like up under my cover,
Yeah.
and because I can't handle that sweat on me.
What were the days in Angola, Louisiana? Like, was it what would you say, July, August, September? Like, what was like?
Man, Louisiana, you going from June all the way to like the mid-September. It'd be extremely hot. It's like last week, it got to like 104, and it was so hot, and I was like, and I wonder how I made it in Angola with all the heat.
Damn.
Because we was working in that. You in the field. Ain't no shade. You out there working in that heat, man.
What were your job duties?
I worked in the field most of my time now.
How many years would you say?
Man, years, man. Phew, man, I did some years in that field because I used to stay getting in trouble.
Oh, shit.
So I stayed in that field a long time.
Was it whole squad or what was it? What did you have to do as far as the field work? What was your field work you had to do?
Man, you have to do everything with that tool or your hand. You're gonna goose pick, you're gonna use them tools, or you're gonna pick something, like pick some vegetables. But then you're gonna use that hoe, you're gonna use that displaying blade, you're gonna use that shovel. Shoot, man, it be hard in that, man. It's hard.
From what time to what time was a normal field a day in the field? Like what time? Like what time did you wake up to go?
Or you gonna
How did lunch work and how did you finish the day?
You'll wake up probably like shift change be like 5:30. So when they come in for shift change, first thing they're gonna do this 5:30 a.m. First thing they're gonna do is count. A couple minutes later, you're gonna hear chow. You're gonna hear a whistle blowing. Chow, people gonna go to walking. That's gonna be like about 5:50 to 6 o'clock. So you walking. So when you coming back, most dudes want to use the toilet before they go in the field. So now you sitting next to somebody using the toilet. And that's real degrading. Cause you can't even wipe your butt. Cause you got somebody next to you. But you gotta overcome all that degradation. And then, so it's about 6:50, they blowing the whistle. 6:45, they blowing the whistle. Work on! Work on! And everybody walking to the gate.
Yeah. Have anybody ever tried just to run right then and there? You ever seen somebody just try to buck up to the boss? You ever see that?
Buck up and do what?
Man, just mouth off. Maybe throw a punch. I don't know.
Yeah, they do that. They often do that.
What's the consequence when?
A lot of times they're gonna beat you, and you go into the dungeon, and then sometimes you'll go straight to Camp J. You'll bypass the dungeon. If you done hit one of them, you'll bypass it.
Hold on, wait, Camp J is worse than the dungeon?
Oh yeah, Camp J, man. You might not never live. They might not never see you again at Camp J.
Oh shit. Yeah.
They might bury you.
Did you ever see Camp J?
What? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I just saw every part of Django the but trustee.
Man. Well, let's stay right there. Well, before we get to the dungeon, if you're out in the fields working, to take a piss or to even, if you have to, take a do outhouse or what do you?
You gonna do it in open. During that time, you doing it
right
there.
Damn.
You like hoping you're around some woods if you gotta defecate.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, so you can. Sarge, I gotta go. And he'll be like, man, just don't go in the woods. He'll tell the gun guard to watch you.
I must say, yeah, somebody's gonna watch you though, right?
Yeah, the gun guard gonna watch you.
Damn. Shit. Okay. When you say the dungeon, most people they don't know how dungeons are. I remember Alcatraz. Of course, they shut that prison down, but they had dungeons because of the stone that was on the wall and just the way it was literal dungeons. Mm-hmm. What are the dungeons in Angola like?
It's like you lose all your property. So only thing you can carry to the dungeon, you go to the dungeon, you don't have no underwear, and then you just gonna have a jumpsuit on. You gonna have your shower slippers on. You ain't supposed to wear no underwear, no socks, no t-shirts. So you could carry your legal work, a Bible or a Quran. And you can bring your toothbrush, toothpaste. That's it.
Hold on, you say no underwear? No undershirt? No sock.
So if it's freezing, you cold. If it's hot, you cool.
Balls out.
Yeah.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Your cot, your toilet, door, that's it?
In the dorm? I mean, in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your bed, so you can't much bring your sheets and stuff to the dungeon. You just gotta get on that mattress. Yep. So
I mean, you got a pillow though, right?
no, you can't bring your pillow to the dungeon. So you just in there. You can't make canteen to get nothing to eat. You can't have nothing to eat in there. It's just you in the cell. So when they come down, they can look up on the bunk, make sure ain't nothing up. You know, when they walking, they ain't got to bend down nothing. They just see the cell. And they might come shake down on the place you got to hide your stuff is up under your mattress. So they'll just roll your mattress back and go to throwing your stuff out of there. Like, come on, Sarge, man, I ain't got that to eat. Man, I don't want to hear that.
So what makes Camp J worse?
Like Camp J, you on lockdown for 23 hours.
Oh, shit, okay, yeah.
And so if you get into it with somebody, they're going to throw doo-doo on you, throw piss on you, do all type of foul stuff to get at you.
Have you seen anyone ever lose their mind in there?
Oh yeah, lots of people.
How does that look, or how does that work, or how did you see, like, what are some signs that you remember knowing that, hey, he's gone?
I got a partner like that now.
Oh.
It's like, these are signs. You might come down the tip and the dude just be standing up. This could be somebody you knew, been knowing all your life. Come from our society, you know. They might be up just rubbing doo-doo all over their head.
Oh.
All in their chest. Or somebody throwing it on them, even like, you know, accepting it and wiping on them. Psychological games. And all of them talk extremely loud. They can all talk loud. They got to overtalk you.
Do they talk to you? Ever see someone talking to themselves?
Oh, yeah.
On a regular?
I do it now.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
No, you don't answer it. As long as you're not having a whole conversation, I think it's all right. I think it's all right. Did you see anyone ever take their life?
Yeah.
In what ways can't you say, I'm done, I'm out, I can't do this no more? What ways can you say, pull the plug on yourself?
What ways do they use to do it?
What ways are they normally doing it?
Man, I'd have thought, a lot of them hang themselves.
Bed sheets?
Yeah. I done saw a dude put that sheet in the toilet and flush it. Man, that toilet flushed so hard, boom.
Oh.
Kill him. You know, it's still toilets.
Yeah.
But that mug flush, man, that mug will take your arm off.
Damn.
And dude put that sheet in there, flush it.
Wrapped around his neck?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man,
bust his head wide open, hit his temple.
Oh man, so I'll be afraid to live through it. Man, it says a lot. Well, with that being said, of course, you were serving this time. At what point did you start understanding that you were actually getting through your time? And you got hit with life. But what was the circumstances of your release? Like what changed in the law? Like what did you like, and how long did you know you might have a chance to get out and see freedom?
In 2012, Miller versus Alabama came out. And so they said that you couldn't automatically sentence a kid to life without taking in the mitigating factors.
Yeah.
And so when that law passed, I knew that it was I was coming home. But it took 4 more years after Miller till Montgomery made it retroactive. So when Montgomery made it retroactive in 2016, I knew that I had that chance, but then had to go through the legislators instead of the court telling us that we're gonna get the next responsive verdict. They let our legislators give us a sentence. And so the freedom came through having go through the parole board instead of getting the responsive verdict.
Right. Was someone handling that for you? Was there a lawyer, or you just knew what was going on and you just waiting on word to come down, or was someone on the outside handling the information of this for you?
Well, I had to learn the law, but I had to saw enough to where I knew that if you don't get a lawyer, even with everything if you don't get a lawyer and be in the first wave of people, you wasn't gonna come home. So as soon as Miller happened, I called my auntie. Miller, we got the word. We was all watching CNN, glued to the TV. So when we got the word and we got over our excitement, I called my auntie and said I need a lawyer. My auntie said, who you want me to go get? And I told her. And I had the lawyer the next day.
Oh, man. Now, in the 30 years you served, that's 30 holidays, 30 Christmases, Thanksgivings. How was that in Angola as far as these holidays? Was the mood and the atmosphere better whenever like Christmas comes around, Thanksgiving? Like they give y'all a little more on y'all plate? How did the holidays work in regards?
They'll give you a little more and they'll change the menu up. So the menu is gonna match what society is eating. So
yeah, that's really good.
People was kind of jovial.
Yeah.
They'll get festive during those times. They'll dress up, do different things.
Okay, give y'all a little bit of some type of shaking up the norm.
Yes.
Shaking up the mundane. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to give condolences to your go ahead.
Keep talking.
I want to go ahead and give condolences to your mother. Whenever I do these prison stories and never someone comes in and they say, they lost a loved one, especially when it comes to a mom, it always touches a certain place, because that's something that you just can't get back. For you and your situation, was your mother, did she pass away from a sickness or was it something sudden?
It was a sickness. My mom was on dialysis.
Okay.
And it could still be a sudden thing because as much as she's suffering, we never prepare ourselves for that.
No.
And it was like my mom used to talk about it, and she would try to prepare me and my brother. But she prepared him more so than she did me. Because a lot of things, they'll want me to just be, they wanted to protect me from it. Yeah. And so when she passed, it was like, my mom passed a week before my birthday, October the 13th, 2009, my birthday, October the 19th. And so, when she passed, it was like, dang. It was like, man.
At what age did she get to?
Did my mom get to?
Yeah.
My mom was 55 when she passed.
Oh, young.
Yeah. 55, 56 when she passed. Yeah, she was young because she was 55. I was 35 going on 36. No, she was 56 because I was 35 going on 36.
Do you inquire about being able to go see her often? Do they allow you to go home on furlough or whatever they call it?
No, I ain't getting her furlough. I mean, at that time, you could go to her funeral. You can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I went to her funeral.
Okay.
Never forget, Usher had just come out with I'm ready to sign them papers. And Jay-Z had just come out with Blueprint 3, that New York, him and Rihanna.
Keys.
Alicia Keys, my bad, you're right. Alicia Keys and him and Kanye, that song him and Kanye, next time I'm in church, please no photos.
Yeah.
I never forget those songs. because that's what we listened to going to my mama's funeral. I was leaving Angola to go to my mama's funeral.
Have you been outside the walls since before that?
No, 20 years. I had been incarcerated 20 years. And I had never been outside the gates.
How was that feeling, just being able to see the world outside of Angola in that moment?
I think I was so sad and I was so hurt that I didn't really take in the world. Yeah. It was like, and my mom gone.
Yeah.
And in those moments of quietness, you'd be like, I don't really have nothing to live for. I don't really have nothing to go home to.
Yeah.
My mom gone.
Yeah, that's one thing they never talk about as far as the days and weeks that follow that, as far as what's, you questioning life a lot. They say they put people on lockdown whenever they lose, like get a phone call about, mothers. Do you understand the reason why they do that, as far as saying, all right, we have to get him put away because we don't know how he might react?
Yeah, because at that point you hurt somebody. But then you put him in a cell, you make him hurt himself.
Exactly.
So it'd be crazy situations, because at that point you'd be like, me and him got into it, you ain't gonna take nothing from nobody. Things that you would let slide, you ain't gonna let slide no more. You're gonna react to it way more quicker. Because it's like, I don't need to be in population no more. So if you say something, I'm gonna knock your head off.
Yeah. Well, definitely, I got to say it again, man. Condolences. That's I'm sure you lost other loved ones throughout the 30 years, but for that itself, the weight of that, man, it's even hard to fathom. As you knew that you were going to come home 2016, how does Angola prepare you to come home, and how quickly did the wheels move once you knew, like, all right, I'm coming home? Like, were you out within a day? Mm-hmm. Was it weeks? How long did it take for you actually?
It took me 3 weeks, because it was something that I said that kind of offsetted things. Mm-hmm. So I made the board June 18th. I came home July the 1st. But Angola had started. Like I said, Angola was slow to prepare people, but they kind of started preparing them. And see, like now, they really, really prepare you because of a lot of things that those of my class did. Because I remember waiting to get my parole date. And because like all of us juveniles, we'll meet up. And so I said, man, we need to get a driving class in here so we can learn how to drive trucks and stuff, so we go home, we have a job. And so I made that suggestion, and somebody said, yeah, man, that's right. So I wrote the warden and told him. They didn't do it, but now they got it.
Now they got it.
So now you got things way more in place for guys. So when they come home, they already got it. They don't got to go and pay all this money or wait for somebody to sponsor them to take them through these diesel driving classes and these diesel driving courses. Computers is a big thing. Well, they started doing the computer thing, teaching us computer stuff before I left. Yeah. But what they need to start doing, and something they haven't started doing, is teaching them how to use a cell phone.
Yeah, like the guys who did 54 and 40 years.
Yeah.
Never touched.
Yeah, teach them how to use it. Especially when you know that they finna come home or when they got a chance. But the tables the clock been turned back there, because up under the previous administration, we had a lot of hope. It's not as much hope because they took all the release mechanisms that we had, they took them. They don't have those release mechanisms anymore. So now they can slow down and go back to how Angola once was. Yeah. Archaic.
So for you, again, you got out for your mom, but now you served 10 more years. Who was there to receive you as you were walked out the doors of Angola?
Oh, my family, man. My aunts. Yeah, my aunts, my brothers, my cousins.
It's crazy. Do you feel like some people, whether it's a female, do you feel like they forgot about you? Like, do you ever feel like the world forgot about you outside of your family? Like there's people that forgot about me.
Oh man, because that was the beauty of having my friends, man. It's like people were still putting me in rap songs, and they weren't even much born when I was there. So the neighborhood kept me alive. So when I came home, it was like, man, I received so much love. It was like I was the hero, because I went in as a kid, but I had done a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, and people just didn't let me die. So, that was a beautiful thing, a beautiful thing, just to know that people talk about you in songs, and not only did my neighborhood know who I was, the city knew who I was. They just welcomed me back with open arms.
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing. Some people don't get that, man.
No.
Some people don't get that.
No.
How was it for you upon coming home? What was the first either place you went? Who were you excited to see? What'd you eat? Do you remember like the meal you had, the store you went to, what you bought?
When I came home or when I got released from prison?
When you got released from prison, let's start with that. Yeah, because it's two different worlds. Yeah, people don't. Yeah.
So when I first got released, there's things that I'm gonna hold back, but I didn't get a chance to go eat what I wanted to eat. So the very first place I ate at with my family was Burger King, which is like down the street. That ain't what I wanted.
I know, but it's right there. But this is Burger King,
and it was how it was set up because my family, I ain't go to like 4 hours from Shreveport. So my family came all the way down. And I didn't just come straight home. So my family had to get back on the road. And so we ate, they wanted to just eat with me, so we ate at Burger King. But when I came home, it was a home-cooked meal. Yeah, it was a home-cooked meal when I first came home.
How was that? What'd you get, like a Whopper or something?
Yeah, I got a Whopper. Yeah.
I said, how does a free world Whopper taste after doing
30 years?
Yeah.
Man, it tastes like a steak.
Man, I tell you.
Yeah, it tastes like a steak. Man.
I tell you, man. Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chef that made that. Whoever worked back there, he probably know who he was serving. He just made number 35 on the line. He said, "You done made me a gourmet meal for real."
Like, man, thank you, man.
Nah, for real. So with that being said, as far as what was your first week at home though? Like because mind you, you got a lot of life left to live now.
Yeah.
Did you get straight to work? Did you just say, let me just get acclimated laying in a bed again and feeling just feeling the air condition and like, were you just like, let me just get that done before or was it just a whole bunch of, Cooper Road love, hugs, going outside, seeing what the guys are doing?
It was a lot of love. It was a lot of love, but within my first week, I was already getting back to work because I left friends, I left brothers, I left people that I love, that I had spent over half of my life with. Yeah. So it was like I used to talk about this. I used to plan this. I used to walk around the yard with my partner, and we used to talk about, man, this is what we got to do when we go home. And I left him. He was actually supposed to go on the board the same day I did, and they pushed him off for another month. Yeah. So I left him, and so I knew it was just time to go to work. He's since came home, but he came home a month after I did. And so
what was your job, if you don't mind me asking?
My job?
Yeah, what job did you get when you got out? Or what way did you get to the money as far as, let me make a little money?
I started driving trucks.
Okay, so yeah, what you were asking for them to put in there, yeah, you got to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, I formed my own organization to help guys and men and women get out of prison or help them when they return back to society.
Much needed. Are you still doing that now to this day? Or?
Oh yes, that's my drive. That's my passion. That's my love.
So needed, man. It's crazy. Some people only doing 3 to 5 years, but there are people getting out that's done the kind of time, if not more, than that you did. And the world changes so quick, man. I don't think people understand. Like, you be gone 2 years, and it's like, oh, this changed or that changed, and man, it's a thing. Now, one thing I will say, T-Win, is that even from the first time you came in, since the first time I met you, it's always been a pleasure because no matter what, out of everyone that I have in my circle, in my life and everything of that nature, the fact that I met you and the fact that every day I get a daily affirmation from you as far as just something to give and I read every single one of them I read, even if I don't respond, I read each one of them. Some will apply to me right then and there in that moment, in that mindset. Some may apply to me the next day or another different time, but it's so important to have that mindset. What was it for you even to do that? Like for you to be like, at the time I'm a stranger, but yet you have the wherewithal to say, let me send him and send others, just daily affirmations. That means you're affirming yourself first, and then you're putting out to the world. What is that about? Because some people like to kind of, misery loves company type of way and just, be mad at everybody. But you kind of have a flip script on that. What is that, and what gave you that?
I think just being in prison and if you look at me, I'm a guy that I smile a lot.
You smile a lot. Last interview, you smiled the whole interview.
Yeah.
I remember we talked about afterward. You like, man, I think I smiled through the whole thing. I'm like, hey, man. I'm like, the fact that you smile, I love it. I respect it. But go ahead.
Yeah. And see, I got it's a genuineness because I'm a smile and I'm a laugh, and so that means that I don't see the bad in things. I always try to see. I'm an optimistic person, so I always try to see the good. And I know how heavy a burden we have to carry because negativity always finds itself within us and take root. So with me, I want to offset it by just giving you something positive because we don't get it. And then coming back into society, it's like you don't see people speak to each other. You don't see people greet one another just in positiveness. So I want to do it differently. I want people to be thankful. I want people to have something positive to say. It's like today, I walked down to Popeyes and they had a homeless guy come in. I had an already ordered. So I'm sitting down and I'm sitting in the back and I'm like on my phone. And what made me know who he was, because he talked loud. So I looked, he was talking loud, he was like, but he had a good spirit. And he was like, hey man, I want a piece of chicken. He said, I just got enough for one leg. And so the woman brought me, had my cup for my drink. So I walked up there. He said, man, can I think I can get a drink with it? But he didn't have enough. So I walked over, I said, man, how much you short? He said, man, probably about 50 cents. So I gave him $1. So he was able to get his drink. And so I went back and sat down. And there was a woman, she had been sitting down too. She had got her food before me. So she saw what I did. So she asked him, man, you want some sides with that? He said, huh? She said, you want some sides with that? And you could see he wasn't really used to people doing good. So he said, you serious? So she said, yeah, what you want? He said, he told her what he wanted. So she said, I'm finna go get it. So he stood up. She said, sit down, I got him, go and get it. So she brought him the size he wanted, and then she left. Wow. And so I'm like, I said, man, you want some more chicken? He said, nah, man, I just ate. I said, no, man, you can eat this other box of chicken tomorrow, later on at night. He said, bread ain't never been open? I said, no. He said, man, you serious? I said, yeah, man. So he came and got it. And so at the end, you know, he was a dude that you could see, he kind of came with something because he was like, man, thank you, man.
Yeah.
And then when he was humble and he was, you know, some people you would give stuff to them. And so, and then he said it again. He's like, brother, thank you, man. And so I came back here. That made me feel good. So I went across the street to 7-Eleven. And they had another homeless dude sitting out. So I said, bro, you want something out the store? So he said, man, he said, bro, I'm sorry, bro. He said, I smoke. I said, you want something out the store? He said, man, can I get a pack of cigarettes? So I looked at him, I said, come on. And so, you know, I got him a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I just felt good just to be able to help somebody.
To be able to help somebody, man. Paying it forward, man.
Yeah.
They don't know your walk. They don't know your story.
Don't know my story.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's so important because you don't know what that act right there might have catapulted him to go off and, you know, we'll see where they land in life, but you might have sparked something in them. So thank you, I would say, man, for having that mentality, having that word, man. You know, as we do these prison stories, you know, we don't do it to glorify the stories. We just do it pretty much to educate. I want to kind of have you leave off with, again, because you went at such a young age, if the young Carmelo Anthony could hear this interview and watch this, what words would you have for him? Even though now that he has to face this, he has to look at this what words do you have for him to possibly do his time, get through his sentence, or anyone that's out there that's battling what Carmelo's battling himself as well?
You know, a lot of times, you know, we hear the older people say, man, put God in your life. And, you know, we live our lives out here in society. We live it. We live it forward every single day. And a lot of times we forget the power of prayers and we forget that God does exist and God does bless us. So to say something to young Carmelo and to say something to future guys that's going to prison, man, you're gonna have to hit your knees, but you gotta hit it with a sincerity. And you gotta hit it with not just to pray, but to change. Because, you know, it's like works without, what it is, prayer without works is fruitless.
Yeah.
So you gotta pray to change yourself, to change your ways, to change your way of thinking. Because you ain't gonna never get out that cage you're in. Whether it's the cage of the physical cage or the mental cage, you ain't gonna get out of it unless you change the way you think. And that's was one of the biggest programs that I took in prison was Thinking for a Change. Because before, man, I wasn't thinking at first. I just was regurgitating my own actions. But man, when you think for a change, you're gonna change the way you are. And Carmelo, you come from greats. I mean, you come from good stock. And you was poised to be something in life. And you can still be something in life because you're gonna get your time back. But man, just work on making better decisions so that you don't put yourself in no situations that's gonna ever threaten your freedom again. And that's for everybody. It's all about putting yourself in the best situation. So that means if you got friends that's living in a certain way that's a detriment to your freedom, man, you got to change those friends because a friend ain't going to put a friend in harm's way. And you got to understand how to get out your own way. And getting out your own way, if it means changing your friends or changing your location, man, do it. Because you got to always remember, man, that your life matters. You can't put everybody's life before yours. Put your life before yourself. I mean, put your life somewhere in that priority list. Because what affects you affects your family. And always remember that. You're going to see those tears run down their face because they can't bring you home with them. So you got to know that all the decisions, the tough decisions, you got to make them so that you can stay free. But man, make positive changes, do positive things, and don't give in to the negativities that's going to come your way. That prison that evolves and revolves around prison. Stay clear of all that negative stuff and just stay positive, man. You're going to make it.
Yeah, man, that's coming from a person who had a life sentence and is here today even to give that message. So with that being said, now put God first. I appreciate you having such wise words. I hope somebody takes heed, and I hope it reaches the necessary people it needs to reach. With that being said, T. Win, this is Prison Stories 101. I appreciate you. I salute you, man. Let's go.
Thank you.